Greetings, Earth Stars. My name is Eliane Nicole. I'm an astrologer and a tarot card reader. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I am starting the Tarot 101 series, which is going to be about how to read the tarot cards for beginners. So if you want to learn how to read cards, you are in the right place. Please subscribe to the channel, as I'm going to be rolling out many videos about how to read tarot cards. I'm going to start with general videos, breaking the cards up into sections and talking about each section, and then eventually I'm going to be going card by card and doing a video for each card. So please subscribe, and please tell any friends that you know who are interested in learning how to read the cards to subscribe as well. And I will also be doing an Astrology 101 series to teach about how to read the planets and the stars. So, for starters here, I'm going to talk about the origins of the tarot, and there's a little bit of mystery about the origins of the tarot. Most scholarly documentation that you will find will say that the tarot turned up in Europe around the 15th century as a card game. And then they'll say as a divination practice in the 18th century in Europe, it's when it's first seen. However, instinctively as a reader, intuitively, I know that it goes way back. I feel that, and also in my own research, I've seen Akkadian cylinders depicting the goddess Inanna that look exactly like the strength card, and she had 8 spears, and the strength is the 8th card, and she looks just like the figure on that card. I know that in these ancient civilizations, like Mesopotamia and such, there are hieroglyphic depictions of the hero's journey, which essentially the major arcana is the hero's journey. And I'm going to talk about that when I get to that video in more detail, but for now I'm going to keep going about the overview and the structure. Tarot decks, you have to get a deck first of all to learn, and there are many different decks. The first deck that I had was the Mother Peace deck, and the Mother Peace deck is a round deck, and that's the backs of it. And I'm going to show you the Empress card, and you can see that it is, what's great about the round deck is that the definitions are not just reversed and upright, but there's all these shades of gray in between. And that is the philosophy of that deck. It's a feminine deck. There are a lot of women of color in this deck. I don't think it's the best deck to learn on, though. Although it was the first deck I got and the first deck that I started reading on, once I realized that I wanted to really get into tarot and do it, like, you know, dive in, I immediately got the Rider-Waite deck, because this is the deck to learn on. The Rider-Waite deck is has so many details, and see, here's the Empress card from the Rider-Waite deck, and all the details in this deck make it the easiest deck for a new student to learn on. All of the symbols is what you can always revert back to draw on when you don't remember the exact definitions of the cards, because ultimately the tarot is an experience where you get to know your cards and you develop your own relationship with them. Yes, there are meanings to the cards and you should learn those, but you should also know how to look at the cards and understand the meaning with them yourself. You know, learning how to read, and that's what I'm going to help you with. The other decks that I have here this is the deck that I've been reading on since the 90s. It's the Morgan Greer deck, and I'll show you the Empress on this deck. See, there's a little less detail, and this deck for me, like I said, it's tethered and weathered because I've been reading with it since the 90s, but there's a little less detail in general in this deck, but the cards really correspond visually very much to the Rider-Waite, which I'm encouraging you to learn on. And then finally, this is my newest favorite deck, so I just wanted to bring it to the table to show you. It's the Santa Muerte deck, and I really love this deck. I'm reading on it for myself all the time, and I'm going to be reading on it for clients more and more as well. And there's the Empress card of that deck. But this deck is just a different twist, and so some of the cards have slightly different accents to them. But no matter what deck you use in the tarot, all 78 cards all have the same basic meaning, and then there are, you know, slight accents. It's like speaking the same language with a Southern accent versus an English accent versus a French accent versus a Spanish accent. It's the same language. You're conveying the same meanings, but there are some different accents and words as you vary from deck to deck. I also want to talk about the tarot structure. So the tarot is broken out into 3 sections. There are 3 major sections of the tarot. The 3 sections of the tarot are the major arcana, and those are the 0 through 22 cards that depict the Fool's Journey. There are the minor arcana, which are the numbered cards, ace through 10, and they depict the actions and activities of our everyday lives. And there are the court cards. Those are the pages, the knights, the queens, and the kings. And those depict people in our lives usually. The court cards don't always depict people, but they usually depict people. And when I get to the court card section, I'll talk in more detail about that. But I want to keep these videos short and plentiful. So I am now going to talk about, and I'll talk about the suits in the minor arcana when I get to the video for that section as well. So this is just very general to give you the overview of the structure. And what I will say in general about studying tarot as well is that to really become a good tarot reader, you should also study Kabbalah, in particular the Tree of Life aspect of Kabbalah, but also the principles, the spiritual principles. Numerology. Numerology will give you more depth of understanding in the cards, and astrology can also give you more depth of understanding in the cards. And I will be talking about those 3. I'm going to do an Astrology 101 series, so please tune in for that as well if you want to learn how to read the planets and the stars. And I will be incorporating some Kabbalah and numerology as I explain the tarot to you, because you just can't really do it without that. However, I'm going to keep it as simplified as possible because the purposes of this is Tarot 101, just the beginning class. So reading tarot is a holistic art. There are many different spreads, from just picking one card to give you a view of your day, to doing a 3-card layout that looks at the past, present, and future, to doing the traditional Celtic spread. And I will talk more about that when I do the layouts video. But for now, I'm going to end here. This was the overview and structure in my first lesson for the Tarot 101. I hope that you enjoyed it. I look forward to your feedback. I hope that this can be an interactive experience where we grow together. So I encourage you to reach out to me and let me know anything that you want to see more of on my channel. And I also want to say, please subscribe. Please tell your friends to subscribe. And I look forward to reading with you. Okay, thank you.